Next, we invite Dr. Prasanna Venkatesh Ramesh. He will be presenting the keynote address for the comprehensive Neuro-Ophthalmology 3D touch interface application with augmented reality.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. So, can I have my slide? Yeah. This was the paper that was presented last year in the MTC, which won the best paper award. So, for the next few minutes, I have no financial disclosure, and this is a simple basic sciences. I'm going to take you into the basic sciences of neuro-ophthalmology. So, there were many theoretical limitations of a concept. So if you take, for example, an image of a cavernous sinus, or when textbooks are referred, even textbooks, there seems to be not really consensus about what is that you really see that is in a two-dimensional or in a three-dimensional plane, circle of Willis, or even for that matter any neuro-ophthalmic structure. So we went back to our drawing board, and you can see this is the QR code. If you have an iPhone now, you can get this app. It's a 3D animated neuro-ophthalmic imaging app. We built it on a three-dimensional interface with high resolution real-time images with augmented reality. So I start with this video. On the left hand side you can see, as well as on your right hand side, subtractive learning. So if you see, for example, so when the skin button is chosen, you can see that the skin is subtracted, so that the power is there for the reader. So you can choose which part or which frame you really want to. So now you can see that if you want to zoom in, you use your fingers, you zoom in, and on the other side you are having the brain. So you decide which structures you want to subtract. If you want to have the nucleus, the nerve, you want to trace the course of that nerve and how it goes and finally ends into the extraocular muscle, you can actually do it. You can see that this is me. I'm pointing the arrow here. The skull, the meninges are now subtracted. I'll just forward the video now. You can see that now the transparency of the brain is reduced here. So that this is like a holistic way of learning which textbook doesn't give you. So we went to our drawing board, and you can see that you can use your zoom. And on the right hand side now the eyeball structure has come. We went to the level of up to the optic radiation and all the nuclei as well. Let me see if I can get you that slice. So even the nucleus, all the nuclei, right, you can see these are just a fast forward video of the same. And then on the other side we also used a three-dimensional smartphone simulative concept, where a neophyte who enters, you can see that if he takes his phone forward like this is just with your smartphone, you move forward. If you go into the pupil like a direct ophthalmoscopy, you can see that a fundus evaluation is done, and you can just come back. So this is a spatial orientation which every one of us have in our smartphone, which is augmented reality with the current mobiles available. So we went back to it, read the anatomy, we went back to the three-dimensional software, we read the Cunninghams and Chaurasia, we created the three-dimensional because it was not easy. We had to be very foolproof because we are recreating the anatomy in a three-dimensional plane. And once it was done, we sent out a satisfaction level questionnaire through our people or the neophytes, a cross-sectional study, a comparative study on Google Form platform. Questions were pertaining to knowledge and comprehension, graphics, tutorials, innovative representation, and more of additive 3D cognitive features. And this is a questionnaire that we actually employed. And then it was sent out to mail for all the 217 ophthalmologists who actually were using it. 203 responded. This study was done last year, as you can see, from July 1 to July 7. And the satisfaction levels were graded as satisfied, neutral, or dissatisfied with and without this application. And a pair t-test was actually utilized, and it was quite statistically significant. So you can see that with this application, there was not really a blind spot for the user. He was able to navigate through any part in the eye which the textbooks were not providing, especially when you read an anatomy, right? You need to really cognitively think about structures, but with this you can subtract structures that you really want only those structures to see, and then that's the edge this gave with and without this application. So this, my dear friends, seems to be a much pedagogical tool for neuro-ophthalmic learning. It helps in e-counseling, and more than neuro-ophthalmology, this can be used into other specialty or other subspecialty of ophthalmology as well. So according to our knowledge, there is no application till date which uses real-time high-resolution augmented reality images with the subtractive element, where you can choose which structures you want to subtract for an interactive digital 3D ophthalmic learning. And it simplifies the concept for a immersive 3D pedagogy as well as counseling, and it is available from the App Store because Apple phones give you this LiDAR technology where we are able to crack it, and with this QR code on the top, or you can go to the App Store, type EYE space MG space MAX, you will get this application in your phone. So thank you once again AIOS for the opportunity to deliver this talk which won last year in the AIOS MTC partner. Thank